I'm too good, I'm too generous, I'm doing the imitation of Donald Duck, the second. Are you a good person? Of course. Next. Tips for people who are starting to play classical guitar. Don't play it with the guitar, you will have the girls. Actually, it is not always true, but but at least I tried. Concerts are always paid, really? I didn't know. No. Personal life. No. This is not fair. Is chili a fruit? Marcindilla, for me, is always an artist, also when he doesn't play. The bow tie power.
Kordiuk guitar platform.
They wanna talk about me? Alright. Wear my name and try to blow my flame. Every day I'd escape past the hate now. Let them speak out, try to catch me, hey now. I ain't tripping on you, nah, I got money. Hey. Nobody care about your drama, I got money. Okay. Sets and zeros and I got money. Yeah, I got money. Yeah. Give me that money. Let them talk shit, yeah, I think it's funny. But if you run up, I'ma make that blood go runny. Catch my style, you ain't even worth my while. Too busy calling up the banks, if we go ahead and die.
Hello, I'm Andrea De Vitis. I'm a guitarist. I'm also a teacher. I like to teach. And I like the communication about music with people. And I love bow ties also. And I don't like so much interviews, but I would do it for you today. Why the guitar? Because it's the most beautiful and intimate and mysterious instrument of the world. I was always surprised by the possibility of color. Also, when I was a child, at my first guitar lesson, actually there is a funny story about this because, okay, I liked the guitar, but the teacher immediately told me, okay, with the piano you could be a good piano player, you will play good maybe, yeah, but with the guitar you will have the girls. Actually, it is not always true, but but at least I tried. Describe your ideal practice day when you're preparing for a concert. Yes, sometimes it's random. I mean, the ideal practice day, of course, it's to relax, to have time for everything. I, of course, suggest to sleep a lot, to have time to do your things, to practice, to change the strings. Actually, I'm a very good changer of strings because I like to have new strings like 1 hour before each concert, at least the basses. So this is one of the things, crazy things that I do. So for me, sleep, change strings and relax. What do you do before you go on stage? Personal rituals. I eat something like sugar, chocolate. I practice slow the pieces, the most relaxing pieces that I have in the program. I try to play very slow to relax and to enjoy the sound, and not thinking that I have to go really on stage, thinking that I have only to enjoy the moment and enjoy the sound which is going out from my guitar. The biggest prize you've ever received in a competition in monetary terms and highest paid concert. Concerts are always paid? Really? I didn't know. No, sorry. Joking. But yeah, competition are many. Then after a while you forgot all the prizes you get. But of course I remember it was a very huge competition in Wrocław in Poland, and the prize was very high. I don't remember really the money, but it was very important competition also because Wrocław that year in Poland was the city of culture of Europe. So it was really an important event and they got a lot of money for the prize. Tips for people who are starting to play classical guitar. Don't play it. No, joking. Be conscious that you are going to play the most beautiful instrument of the history, and enjoy always when you play your instrument, and be always curious about his possibility and his colors, has infinite sounds and timbres. Your top 3 modern guitarist, Thibaut Garcia, of course, but I'm serious. Then, okay, I say also something of the past. Of course, I love Segovia. Among all the guitarists also of the next generation, I always prefer Segovia because of the intensity of his playing. Of course, now we can say that some of his interpretations are a bit old in a way, no? Also for other instruments, the history of interpretation is going still on, and so things are changing in music. But still, Segovia is a reference for guitar and for his ideas, for the sound, and for the role he had in the history of the guitar. And then the third I can say Marcin Dilla. For me, is always an artist, also when he doesn't play, also when he tunes the guitar. Your top 3 musicians of all time? So Carlos Kleiber for the he's a conductor. Daniel Trifonov for the piano, because I think in both cases their interpretation and their performances are always alive. There is something really alive in this. It's not only playing, it's not only music, but it's life in a way. It's something going really outside of the music. And again, Segovia for the guitar. Do you have your own special source of inspiration? The nature, computer games? No. Plants, drink, pills, whatever. I like to think really about the sound. I like to imagine what the sound can be. Not only colors, but situations. And something like this. I like to use the fantasy and the imagination when I play, and not always connected to the score. Of course, when I practice, everything is connected to the score, the dynamics and the interpretation. But then when I'm in the concert place on the stage, I try to work a lot with the fantasy and to not to think that I am a performer and I am playing there and I have to play this piece, but I try to really focus on other things. What's your superpower? The bow tie power. The most shameful thing you've ever done? I think it's always connected with bow ties because I used to wear, I'm very sorry for this, a bow tie made of feathers. Yes. I'm very sorry for the bird actually. Personal life. Ow. Do you have girlfriend, boyfriend? What do relationships mean to you? I have a girlfriend, and relationships are something very deep in a way, you know, that these are the important things of life in a way. We are doing music, we are joking, but life is also these things, and sometimes it's mostly these things. Andrea De Vitis in 5-10 years. How do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? I see myself with bow ties, drinking a lot of coffee, because you know I'm Italian, and I see myself doing in my concerts some strange programs, sometimes not convenient, not very conventional programs, finding not very well-known works, doing some research on the repertoire, and of course teaching, because I like to do it. What's the purpose of life? What do you live for? I like to say that music in a way lives on and because of us, because of the artists and because of musicians. So I like to think that I am useful in this universe because I play music and I bring something outside of my little life. What crazy thing are you ready to do right now? breaking my bow tie or doing the imitation of Donald Duck. This I can do.
Kordiuk Guitar Platform.
Blitz section. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. Tie or bow tie? I will not say it. I will not tell. Come on, it's ridiculous. Vegetarian or meat eater? I'm not vegetarian, but if I really had to choose, I would choose vegetarian because I see if I have to choose, I would see myself more in that direction. Roma or Milano? Roma. I'm very sorry for Milano. I like Milano a lot, but Roma is something more. Verdi or Rossini? Verdi, I like more. Giuliani or Sor? I like both, of course. I should say Giuliani because he's Italian, but actually Sor is always very deep and is more modern because he's the only one in that period who used the guitar in a polyphonic way, or he tried to do this. So for us it's a bit more difficult, but still it's very creative and it's a future guitarist in a way. Segovia or Bream? I have to say that I prefer Segovia to all the generation immediately after Segovia, but also Bream is a great player. Desiderio or Michele? No. This is not fair questions because they are both both great for different things, of course, and I know them both very well, and it's impossible to me to say. I would say that yes, both for different things. Very diplomatic way. Sokolov or Horowitz? Sokolov is, of course, a more modern player, and yes, I prefer a lot. Daddario Savares? Daddario? Spruce or cedar? Spruce. Also, if sometimes you find the cedar that you like, but for me spruce is very important because it's the history of the guitar, which is connected to the violin, so in a way our identity is spruce. Then of course the technology and the research went also to other directions, and sometimes, for example, I played some incredible spruce guitars, cedar guitars like Friedrich guitar, which is wonderful, and in this case and in some cases you find the cedar which really sounds like spruce. But of course I prefer spruce because of the colors, because of the history. Are you a good teacher? I cannot say, but I like to teach, so I really enjoy when I'm doing this, and so I like this moment to share, to communicate, and to show things to students. Concert or masterclass? Actually, I would choose concert because masterclass, I mean, a random masterclass for me is not so interesting. I like to follow the student for a longer period and to see his progress, his development of the playing, and so the masterclass is not that interesting like the concert in this case. So concert. A character trait that you don't like about yourself? The very diplomatic answer that all the people say is I'm too good, I'm too generous, I'm too always. Oh my God. I would not do this. I would not say anything because I don't think too much about myself. Are you a good person? Of course. Next. What kind of fruit you are? Is chili a fruit? Can be, yes, because it's spicy, it's funny. I like chili. I see Marco Topci answering to the question what kind of fruit is Andrea De Vitis and why. I'm very frightened about this. One, passion fruit because he's very passionate. 2, orange because he's very juicy. I was sure of this. 3, peach because he's so ripe. Grape because he's De Vitis. because you know vitis in vite is like grape in Italian, so De Vitis is like saying from grape in a way, but it's very crazy, of course. So I have to answer to this. Which kind of them? Oh, so the Italian solution is grape because it's De Vitis from in Latin is more correct. So grape. And so. No.
I think that Andrea De Vitis is a grape because he is De Vitis.
My present will be my latest CD, Naxos, about Tanzman, complete music for the guitar, with my signature, and the question, of course, you know which will be the question. What is the material of my next bow tie? Thank you.
Kordiuk Guitar Platform.